Thank you so much for joining Formula Drift's Inside Clips presented by Men's Journal for the week of September 20th. I'm Laurette Nickel. As a Formula Drift crew rumbled into town and shook up the championship point standings at the end of Long Beach weekend, so too did the Earth. On Friday night, after qualifying had ended, an earthquake deeply rattled the Long Beach area, and especially the Papadakis team. Back in the shop in the Carson area, team mechanic Mario Seguero told me that even though he's grown up in Southern California and is used to earthquakes, that one felt much bigger than a 4.3 on the Richter scale. As Mario recounted, the epicenter was 2 miles away from the shop's location, and about a mile away from us is an oil refinery that lost power. Once they lose power, their systems automatically start venting gas fumes. From our location, we saw a bright orange sky and flames shooting up from behind the buildings, so we thought the refinery had exploded. Thankfully, all the guys ran out of the building as fast as their legs could carry them, and everything and everyone turned out to be safe and sound. I also understand that because my hotel room on the 15th floor was rocking, and I was heading towards a stairwell about to book it out of there too, so luckily the swing had stopped and all was well. Speaking of the Papadakis team, in one of my favorite moments of the weekend was when Frederick Osbo's longtime crew chief Sean Hillier proposed to his girlfriend Vivs because 7 years ago they met at FD Long Beach. Aww, congrats you two, I'm so thrilled for you both. For the last 2 seasons, I reported news on the show after I've received quotes from the guys on what transpired at the events, and this time I'm trying something new here on Inside Clips, and you're gonna hear from the guys themselves. So let's get into what happened at round 7 in Long Beach. From the left side of the brackets, Odie was dealt with some pretty heavy hitters. Going through Adam LZ in the top 32, Dai Yoshihara in the top 16, Michael Essa in grade 8, and finally in the final 4, waged war against Chris Forsberg to get to Frederick Osbo on the treacherous Long Beach course in the finals. Odie explains how he got to that #1 spot.
Yeah, it is very treacherous, and I try to keep it cool, but I battled so many amazing drivers throughout this weekend that I think it was getting me in the right groove, and everything clicked together. And that allowed me to push really hard against Frederick Osbo, and that's the only way to win against giants like that. So the car's in one piece. I'm holding #1 spot trophy. I couldn't be happier. Moving on to Irwindale really soon here.
Odie, congrats.
Thank you.
Frederick Osbo, as usual, gave it an incredible effort, and at the end was deemed with a 2nd place finish and had this to say.
Long Beach is a beast of a track. You know, we've done well here before, we've done terrible here before. I had a huge crash yesterday. We were not even sure if we would be here today, and I'll be honest, every time I drive this track, I quench my butt cheeks because it's so hairy, and you'll get taken out like that. So really happy to be on the podium. I thought that we almost had it in the finals, but you know, it went Odie's way. Rightfully so, I'm sure. And you know, we're in the championship lead now, which is great. But at the end of the day, I'm going to go into Irwindale like I do with any race. Try and prepare the best I can, try not think of standings, and just go out there and do the best job I can on track and have fun in the process.
One of the biggest discussion points of the night was when teammates Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Chelsea Denofa faced each other in the grade 8. Chelsea is ranked 2nd in the championship point standings, and we're coming down to the wire with the final event in a few weeks at Irwindale Speedway, October 22nd and 23rd. So you guys know every point counts in the championship hunt. You can hear what Chelsea thought of facing his boss and teammate on his Instagram page. Also, I asked Vaughn about team tactics and if he considered throwing the battle. Here's what Vaughn had to say.
My heart, I want Chelsea to win the championship more than I want to win a championship myself this year, honestly. We've just been working so hard the last 5 years together, and believe me, it crossed my mind. And I just processed it, and just basically came to the conclusion that, if I did that, he would not be able to feel that he earned a championship. I would not be able to do it and hold it myself and him, hold it from him, and it would just be a really bad thing. And at the end of the day, what would it mean? Right. You have to earn championships, and frankly, I think him beating me like that to get those points and get further would have meant so much more than him just getting it easily, and he wouldn't want that. And so kind of disappointed in myself for thinking about it, honestly. But it's just something that like my heart brought up, and I just had to process it.
Yep.
And we went hard. It was, I hope that we were gonna have 2 perfect cars after the battle. That hasn't happened in a long time. It was an epic battle, and I think it was just really a timing situation and a technicality when we made contact. And so, yeah, it is what it is.
Yep.
I'll look forward to Irwindale. Maybe we can do it in the finals.
Yeah, and how proud are you of your results tonight?
I'm really proud of myself. It's been an interesting year. I feel like I've driven really well. Just haven't really gotten there. I just have an interesting turn of events as such as drifting.
Yep.
I'm really proud of my team. I had an amazing Mustang RTR this weekend, and I just pulled it all out and drove as hard as I could, and you never can be mad at that.
Matt Field was at the top of the championship points chase, leading the FD drivers into Long Beach, but unfortunately in his one more time battle with Vaughn in the top 16, Field's front suspension broke on the Corvette, which spun him into the wall and resulted in a win for Gittin. Matt was understandably disappointed to drop down into 3rd place in the championship points, but he very optimistically told us this.
Some stuff broke on the left front, and it took me out after a one more time battle, after a hell of a battle with Vaughn. Doesn't mean we're not done yet. Going into Irwindale, I'm going to do exactly what I know what I need to do and hopefully take the fight. I think there's a couple of things that I need to do, and those things are stay focused,
Yep.
keep doing exactly what I'm needing to do, drive only as hard as needed, win battles, and take one at a time. That's all I can ask for, and that's what I've been doing all season. And you only drive as hard as you need to. That's my mentality.
Also, a personal thank you to Matt for extending his time and hospitality to me this weekend, and a huge congratulations. And Matt and his now fiancée Diane are engaged. Congrats, you guys. By now, you've most likely read that President and co-founder Jim Lowell will be stepping down from his position within FD and launching himself into a new job at PRI. So let's hear it from Jim himself on this new and exciting development.
At the end of the season, I stepped down as my role as president of the series. Obviously, Ryan is more than capable to step in as president of Formula Drift, and it's a great and competent team that's going to run the show. I am moving to a position of general manager at PRI, which is Performance Racing Industry. It is a racing-only, racing-focused trade show, but we are also doing a lot of advocacy to protect racing for everyone. So I will be stepping into that role, managing that office, and diving into all forms of motorsports. And of course, always having my secret bias for drifting and making sure that Formula Drift will thrive in this better motorsports environment.
Right, and this isn't goodbye because you're still going to be around.
Absolutely not.
Yep.
This is not a goodbye. It's a I'll be back once in a while. It's definitely not a departure, not a separation. I'm not, breaking up with anybody. I'm still part owner. I'm still on the board of directors, and this is still a series that I co-founded. So my heart is still here. My lifelong friends are still here, but my day-to-day job, my day-to-day role will be different.
Of course, I wanted to get a few words from co-founder Ryan Sage, who's stepping into the role of president after the departure of Jim. And Ryan told me that Jim's my brother, and I am so proud of everything he's done for FD. I'm happy to see him take on this new challenge in his life, and also glad he'll be there when we need him. I will be assuming his role after Irwindale and then beginning the process of delegating some of my current responsibilities. There will be lots more to say, and I plan on being as accessible and available as possible as we take the series into 2022. Lastly, congratulations to Rich Whiteman and Christian Nelson, who went 1 and 2 at the US Drift Battle on the Bay Shootout, and massive shout out to Tyler Foley, who clinched 3rd place and was the only driver to earn a Formula Drift Prospect license. I've been told that we'll see Tyler competing in 2022. Best of luck, Tyler. Okay, gang, thank you so much for spending your time here with us at Inside Clips. We'll see you at Irwindale in just a few weeks.